It is a sunrise.
Hi, everybody.
This isn't even my channel. I'm not doing the introduction. Screw you guys.
Well, it's not our fault that Google shut you down, dude.
Google's dicks, man. Total dicks, bro.
Yeah, they are. Blame it on Jack Dorsey.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm on Fry and Friend 22. So this is 22.3 of the same fucking podcast I've been working on for well over 2 hours.
Still haven't even...
You comfortable?
Christ, old man.
I'm not sure how much of that was chair and how much of that was spine.
Fucking boomer, dude. Jesus, put some oil in that bitch.
Yeah.
That was his lumbar, not his lumbar support system.
They do have syringes.
The one thing I did ask for my birthday is a new chair, so hopefully I'll get that.
Not more cartilage.
Dude, I'm old at this point. I'd have to go down the ghoulish Democrat route of milking fetuses for their platelets and their stem cells.
Jesus.
Speaking of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, what's the over/under on her actually showing up tomorrow?
I'm pretty sure the over/under is whether or not she's over or under, and that is the ground.
But no, who was the guy, Superman, that was wheelchair bound?
Chris Reeves.
Yeah, that's what it's got me thinking of, that South Park episode.
South Park has touched dicks.
Hey, they just touched dicks.
They're the charming dicks, though. Like, there were people out there who were upset that they weren't being made fun of on South Park.
I like the fact that when they did the Scientology episode, they actually had to put in the subtext of, no, really, this is 100% true. This is not a joke.
Yeah, this is what they actually believe. My God.
I like when they got like really big name stars. They used them in the shittiest parts. George Clooney comes on set. He's like, "I want a voice in your TV show," and they're
So
like,
they made
"Cool,
him a dog.
You'll be the dog."
Bark Bark.
George Clooney, the original Groot.
Everybody was all excited when they knew it was going to be Vin Diesel, and then he's literally got like 3 inflections that they use, and that's it.
They could have done something really great with Groot and like done like a fundraiser for like some thing, like based on retweets or something like that, and the person who gets the most retweets, like mathematically to the fewest number of followers they have with the largest number of retweets, they get the coveted spot of a freaking Marvel superhero. But instead, they cast freaking I'm not thinking of Groot. I'm thinking of Rocket, who was
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper's impression of freaking De Niro or something. Just like, why is he a New Yorker? You wanna explain the New Yorker-esque side of the alien population that happened to have been made out of a raccoon?
Well, he is a trash panda, so. And if you've ever been to New York, you know there's trash everywhere.
I fully expect like Florida raccoons to have New York accents. That's not my problem. It's the intergalacticness of it.
Jutsky says there's been an RBG sighting. Do you guys know anything about it?
There was a Hillary sighting once. I still don't believe it.
Fair enough.
Just a wild Hillary out in the woods for some unknown reason.
Well, she has been cited supposedly stating she's going to be running for president again, which I find absolutely hilarious.
There was a poll I saw on Twitter earlier that ranks like everybody that's running on the Democratic side and like their perceived percentages right now, and she wasn't even on the list.
Is Biden still winning, even though he isn't running?
Yes. Biden is still at 29% and is orders of magnitude ahead of everybody else.
Sean, there's something wrong with your mic. It keeps like tapping or something.
No, that's not mine.
Jay?
I'm clicking my mouse, refresh every 20 goddamn seconds.
That might be what it is.
There it is, and it's Jay.
It sounds like you're beating the shit out of your mic for a minute.
No, my mic's on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got the full gear set up today, so this should be good dulcet tones coming out of this mic. And if it's not, I'm going to be pissed.
All right. So
on the plus side, my Hangout is almost ready. Oh my god!
I thought the top pick on that poll was somebody not on the list, like somebody new and refreshing for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, Joe Biden. That's how new and refreshing they are.
Yeah, the child molesting old white man. That's a good poll for the Dems.
He's actually one of the few guys that could probably hang with Trump.
Probably.
I mean, Trump can't bash him on his gropiness while he's got grab him by the pussy on everybody's tongue. You know, never mind the fact that there was also the caveat of they let you.
Right.
Good news. I've got the stream up on YouTube. Fucking
yay.
God. My stream or yours?
Yours.
Alrighty then.
Still working on the Hangout, which I clicked first. Good.
Yeah, somebody needs to send me a picture of a very young Bill.
I thought you were going to say Dianne Feinstein.
Bill Clinton?
No, not Bill Clinton. Bill O'Reilly. So that I could put the thumbnail up. You know, the fuck it, we'll do it live thing. We need to make that the thumbnail for this video.
He's still old. He was in his 40s when that happened.
Old. That shit changes.
Yeah, it does. Like, a young Morgan Freeman was born and drove his parents home from the hospital because he was 37 at the time.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman was the original easy reader from my childhood. Tulsi Gabbard probably is their best candidate, unless you want to count Schultz, who's running as an independent.
No, Schultz would be the death of them.
Actually, both he and Tulsi Gabbard are actually speaking reality. Whether or not you agree with them or not, that's a refreshing change.
It's nice and unique. How they're just wrong and they're not evil.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Although to me, at a certain point, like when it's a baby and no longer a bean, I'm full on like, no matter what, you're killing a baby. You know, if the egg can't get fertilized by the sperm, not a baby. It's just whatever the hell we've got going on in those particular things. Which are their sperm's got to be semi-sentient in a way, in some fashion, because it has a
sentient, but it has a pre-programmed chemical path that it follows.
Yeah. So, for an understanding, anyway.
I mean, I'm one that says that, you know, I'm definitely anti-abortion, but I also think that there needs to be some realistic talk about, well, everybody's this absolutist where life begins at conception. Well, I'm sorry, that may or may not be true. I'm not going to make that determination, but plenty of women have natural miscarriages. They have ectopic pregnancies that require an abortion to save the life of the mother. So there's some other things going on there that need to be actually looked at in having this conversation. I'm not for killing a baby. I'm not for unduly terminating a life for convenience, and I'm absolutely dead set against using abortion as birth control. But there's got to be some more realistic talk about when it is okay to do these things.
Sean,
You know what we need on this stream? Another dude.
Totally.
yeah, we're one short, aren't we?
Well, and the reason I have these opinions is because my mother was 14 when she had me. So I consider myself an abortion survivor in so much as that most of the people around my mother were trying to get her to take the easy road and abort me. And I'm only here because she was strong enough and didn't. And I'm all for giving other kids in those situations the same chance that I got.
Harris or Warren? No.
Sean, check Gun Club and thank Jutsky.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, let's save this.
My freaking Google's still waiting. I'm almost to the point where I have a hangout.
At this point, the technology has been fixed, Shay, and you can deal with it after we have our little chat.
Fuck it. We'll not do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it Memorex.
Now I'm going to try to pull up my Internet Explorer and then remove my Google completely and re-download Google.
So the sad thing about this is that we're doing this on my Surface, which is an old-ass computer that can barely handle this sort of workload, yet it's still working better than Jay's rig.
It's just my Google.
Okay. Keep telling yourself that, Jay.
It's just my Google.
Where'd that go?
I think your Google needs a little blue pill. Just for some assistance.
I gotta figure out what screen this thing is on.
It's having a little trouble getting it up, that's for sure.
And you call me old.
I'm about to call up Jed for not even watching my damn stream. He just retweeted the last link. Like, you're not even watching.
Smooth. Real smooth. Where the hell did this go? One moment, please.
And my Internet Explorer is dying. All right, fuck this. I am doing a reset.
You can do that.
You
now.
get a reset. You get a reset. You get a reset. Everybody gets a reset.
Do it.
All right, so do we have any proof? Do we have any proof out there that this Justin Fairfax guy is who he says he is, and he's not just Northam in blackface again?
Well, apparently he's not a doctor, so there's that.
Not a doctor.
So what was this business of Northam doing a moonwalk or about to do a moonwalk?
Was there any business about that?
Well, because he claimed that he won a dance competition because he went in blackface as Michael Jackson, And the reporters were calling bullshit on it in the moment, but they were doing it politely because he's a Democrat, and said, "Well, can you still moonwalk?" And basically, daring him to prove it. And his wife had to literally say, "Yeah, you don't do that. Don't."
Damn it, women! Why do you ruin everything fun?
Is that why I saw something about he has to ask his wife for permission first? I was wondering about that.
Ugh.
Drone folder.
So yeah, we're currently living Sean's best reality, where we've got North, is it Northam, Norham? What are we talking here?
Northam?
Northam? Norham. You didn't want him to leave. You wanted him to be chased out. You're getting that.
It's fun to watch for sure. What could they possibly find next? Ooh.
That's just to me, that's hilarious. Anyway.
Well, question: how did Oppo Research miss this during the elections? I mean, my God, all they had to do is look in his fucking yearbook.
Well, see, that was back in 2016, before this all got blown well out of proportion, and we started diving into literally everybody's past for wrong thinking and past sins. That we were actually okay with people just letting people be what they are now, rather than holding them accountable for the sins of literally everything they've ever fucking done. All right, so where is...
Oh well, Jesse, that's just because babies aren't babies until they pass through the vagina, the magical vagina.
Not true anymore, according to frickin' Virginia.
Well, it hasn't been true for a while, considering that cesareans have been a thing since, I don't know, since the time before Caesar.
Aren't they named after Caesar?
Yeah, but they're named after Caesar because that's how he was born. There was probably plenty of people that were born that by that method before Caesar. It's just he was the most famous.
They should be called Athenia sections, where they spring out of different body parts in the vagina, just fully formed in battle regalia.
I wonder if it'll let me change this on the fly.
Well, your mom's a whore. You're a brain baby.
Live streaming. Events. Edit. All right, it won't let me. At least I don't know where to change the.
Afterwards.
I thought you could do it while it was live. I could have sworn I've seen somebody do that.
If you back up, maybe. Where the hell's my... I haven't done this in a bit. Where do I go for system restore?
You're going to blow your whole system out?
So I'm looking at a YouTube survey. It says, which of the following issues would you vote for? Impeach Donald Trump, Medicare for all, or paid family leave? I put none of the above.
I'm okay with paid family leave.
I don't know. I'm still up in the air about it.
I'd like to spend the first week with my child. And
I got,
sleeping.
I took 3 weeks, and in order for me to have it, I had to burn every ounce of vacation I had. So there wasn't actually a benefit for me for when my son was born. So,
That's because you're a guy.
right,
By the way,
which
I'm
is
okay with
shitty.
that. I will happily give up all my vacation time to be with my firstborn child.
Oh yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm lamenting is that it wasn't that that it's a sexist practice that they, well, the women do all the hard work for birthing, so it's one of those things that I'm not too upset about it. But it would be nice if employers would give the at least a little bit of a benefit to the guys that want to actually be fathers.
I guess that's fair, but I think that's also a good point of criticism. Look, if you're going to give it to the woman, why not the man as well, since he's probably going to be helping take care of the kid while the woman kind of heals from the process. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, nah, we're not going to fuck with it. We're not going to make it mandatory anyway. If you want paid family leave, find a company that offers it.
Right. I believe in that. I don't know that you need to do it via governmental edict, but it would be nice that if companies would offer that benefit.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down
And
with
actually, but they don't. Most companies, because women take so much time off, they need to actually keep the men in the office as much as they can. So I kind of understand it both ways.
Agreed.
I don't know why they're paying us full price. They're only paying them 78 cents to a man's dollar.
Well, we're just worth it, I guess.
Literally, yes.
Well, I don't understand how women can complain about that, even though it's false. But they complain about that, but then they're still like, well, you need to pay for every dinner, every movie, all the gas. You need to do all the legwork. You got to do yada 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 while we're dating. You need to put a roof over my head and food on my table.
I'm happy to say that has never been the case that I didn't want. So it's never been asked for me to do that. I always just offered it.
Because you've been brought up to do that, because you've been indoctrinated by the patriarchy.
This is true.
The matriarchy.
The gynocentric patriarchy.
The gynocentric. We're for men. Let's put them in all the positions where you can get killed because we're for men. I watched it was a YouTube video, but it was talking about how we absolutely were a matriarchy prior to Jesus Christ, and we also didn't have shit. like it took us to have the Romans before we started getting roads and systems of salaries and actual matriarchal standards were being set aside for patriarchal standards in which we actually accomplish shit. And in 2,000 years, we're fucking flying,
Who's John Ward?
I fucking love John Ward. He's a YouTuber. He recently got demonetized for starting what was going to be a 7-part series on what happened with the Covington Catholic kids.
Oh, okay.
Why would you get that name from?
Jessica put it in the chat.
John Ward's awesome. And yeah, I believe it was John Ward talking about Nietzsche. Frederick, not Dominic. Dominic just delivered pizzas.
Oh, you're going to love this one. I've introduced House Bill 5700, a 50% tax increase on ammunition. It doesn't apply to military or law enforcement. I'm hearing pushback about the need to protect one's home, but how much ammunition does one really need to do that?
As much as is necessary. Fuck off.
Yeah, sure. I want enough ammunition to protect me from a Tucker Carlson raid.
The zombie horde, where it takes more than 2 shots to kill them.
I really hope this is a state legislator and not an actual congressperson. No, it's an actual representative.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Oh, wait a minute. Nope.
Hmm?
Connecticut State Representative Jillian Gilchrist, representative of Connecticut's 18th district.
Oh, it's Connecticut. Not surprised.
Which just means everybody's going to go to Massachusetts or New York to buy their ammo.
Not New York.
Not New York. Not Massachusetts either.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
New Hampshire.
You got to go through an entire state to get there.
It's a small state.
Mass? Yeah, but the roads suck.
Thanks,
Gun laws are
Romney.
too. Believe it or not, the 3 best gun states in the Northeast are Maine, Vermont, and Pennsylvania.
I believe Vermont, yeah.
Yeah. Those are like the 3 most gun-friendly states in the Northeast.
Well, you need them in Maine.
True.
To fight the polar bears, eh?
And the moose. Meese?
God, dude, the French Canadians, those little bastards get everywhere. They're worse than trash pandas.
Yeah, but Canadians apologize all the time. They'll be sorry.
Yeah, not the French ones.
Sorry, eh?
They're like, sacre bleu. Speak French.
Merde.
Yeah, basically.
Yes, I know Mozilla seems slow to start, motherfucker. I know that because I clicked on your button 27 minutes ago.
Oh, God.
Oh, so did you guys hear about the New England Patriots YouTube account?
I heard that they got suspended.
Deceptive practices.
What did they? Okay, so what's the actual deceptive practice?
Oh, of course they're not going to tell you. But it is the account has been terminated
Nice.
due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy against spam, deceptive practices, and misleading content or other terms of service violations.
So your account got terminated?
No,
That's following along, retard.
The Patriots official YouTube account.
Oh, oops. Skip that part.
Shit, I wouldn't mind if my account got terminated. That means my computer wasn't happy.
Very salty YouTube employee.
Remember when that guy?
I like it.
Remember when that guy quit and he deleted Trump's account? Like, that was funny. You know, we all appreciated that, but the Secret Service want to talk to you now. Something about deleting the President of the United States Twitter account and your possible ties to Al Qaeda.
We've got this nice little town in Kansas. We'll put you up in a hotel. Come on over. We're gonna have a little chat.
U.S. Marshals actually own a couple hotels.
In Leavenworth?
Probably. But all throughout, like, all throughout the Midwest. For training purposes and whatnot, they use them for stationing witnesses that have to travel long distances.
Mm-hmm.
They literally own, like, it's almost the size of a city. But the city went under and became a ghost town, and they leveled like the whole city But they took the what did it take? They took the hotel. The hotel's still there, but like a 10-mile radius around it is also U.S. Marshal territory, and they regularly patrol it for like people, and that's like a way station for them.
You
I'm
know
like,
this
yep.
town is Branson, Missouri.
It's just a hotel and a little Dollywood theme park. No, wait, that's Cerebral. Well, it's Pigeon Forge anyway.
Funny how you don't hear about Branson anymore.
When did you though? I only hear about it in books.
There was a while there that was all over the place because it was booming so big. I don't know. Was that? It must have been under Bush. I'm pretty sure it wasn't under Clinton.
No, Clinton had all the tech stuff because his vice president.
Boom.
Yeah, because his vice president invented the internet.
Series of tubes.
series of tubes. So, guess who had the story of the Justin Fairfax affair and didn't run with it?
Bongino?
No, that was blackface. No, Washington Post did not run the story. And it technically wasn't an affair. It was a sexual encounter, consensual kissing, and then other stuff happened. They left her crying and shaken.
I just can't bring myself to give a shit.
I do. That's a freaking Washington Post, not running a non-consensual oral sex story because Democrat.
Okay, so yeah, I care that I only care in so much as color me shocked that the WAPO went out of its way to not run a negative story about a Democrat. Color me shocked. But as far as
probably because that Democrat was colored.
Probably. But as far as I can tell, it's a he said, she said at best. And there's no corroborating evidence one way or the other. So I do not give a shit.
I want to know when this story was being pushed around in the first place. I am a huge advocate, like to a great deal, of not letting it happen to somebody else. Like to the point where if I got caught up in a tranny ring where I got taken for my life savings in tranny business because of my love of trannies, I would still make it.
Folks.
Exactly. I would still make it known that this is how I got taken advantage of. Don't let yourself get taken advantage of that way.
Okay.
Because it's just another way for me to fuck a tranny, and I appreciate that. But dear God, it's embarrassing. It's unsightful. It hurts you to talk about it. Do it anyway. Prevent somebody else from suffering what you suffered.
Okay. Sure.
I guess.
But I mean, we just with the ubiquity of sexual allegations being weaponized, a la Brett Kavanaugh. I'm going to go ahead and extend the professional courtesy of if there is no police report, there is no crime. Move the fuck on.
Agreed.
As far as the actual governor of Virginia, I'm actually sort of rooting for him at this point in a weird sort of way. The Democrats have decided that they're going to destroy him professionally, period, over this nonsense. I think, much like Michael Knowles, that it's the wrong thing to be destroying him over because it's really trivial in comparison to what he actually said on the radio the other day about trans bill before the state assembly. But they're bound and determined to ruin him. So at this point, I'm all for him putting up the biggest fight he can put up. Make them do the dirty work. Make them do the dirty work that they're bound and determined to do. Make them work for it.
Tran bill, by the way, not trans.
That's what I said. I said trans bill, as in the possessive of tran.
The bill put forth by Tran.
Correct. Trans bill. Third base.
So wait, you still listen to Michael Knowles on the regular?
No, I don't. I see headlines.
Yeah, fuck on Michael Knowles.
Yeah, I pretty much just quit listening to him.
Yeah, I can't decide if Knowles is my least favorite or the other producer guy that only does the show from like his car or his bedroom.
Mark Walsh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never watched
between those two that are the worst.
Is that what he's from?
Knowles at first when he had the panel of deplorables, but ever since that segment went away, it's kind of milquetoast.
Yeah, at this point, I really only, as far as the Daily Wire goes, I pretty much only watch Klavan and then the occasional snippet of Ben Shapiro.
I like Klavan.
I watched the two of them completely, but I enjoy them both.
Oh, what's his name? Oh, damn, what's his name? Oh, well, the whole alt-light can eat a dick over this Liam Neeson thing. Where he was 30 years ago, he was looking around to beat a black bastard with his stick. For
with his
no, with his what did he say it was? It was a
Welsh bastard.
What the hell would it? Not a cudgel. What the hell was it?
A shillelagh.
No, it was something like that though. But cone, coach, stick. He had a stick. That he was walking with a kosh, that's what it was. And
a kosh with a K. That's a blackjack, dude.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as a blackjack.
And he was looking for the black bastard or any black person that he could koala with his kill the guy. Because now I've heard reports of it was a family member or a friend had been raped by a feller of color, because that's who does that. And that's not cool. Stop it, guys. But they're calling him a racist now for it. Yeah, he's a fucking racist. Not because of that though, because he's a Democrat. The guy's a shill for Hillary. That's why he's a racist. But oh yeah, he was a big fundraiser donator for Hillary. So that's my issue with him not having anything to do with this freaking story he told, because that's not racism. He was looking for a specific thing. Somebody to come up to him and start some shit that was black. It's not putting his race above their race above his race. It's a person who is going to get lippy with him while being black was what he was looking for. And it would have been the same thing if it was a Mexican or if it was a freaking Swede. Be like, yeah, I need a tall Nordic-looking motherfucker to start some shit. That's not racism. That's just a form of profile. But he is racist, no doubt about that. Not for that, though. And Paul Joseph Watson, eat a dick, as well as Jack Posobiec, who likes to honeymoon at fucking Auschwitz, eat a dick. It's infuriating for people on my side, even though they're absolutely only on their own side. They're not on my side at all. They'll be the first ones to shut me up for my speech while claiming that they're for free speech. But it pisses me off.
Sorry, I'm arguing with memes at the moment.
Yeah. Did I show you that picture I got of Jeff Holiday's freaking pedo tattoo?
No.
The triangle inside a triangle? I mean, I'm sure he thought it was some Illuminati bullshit, but that's a fucking pedo tattoo you got on your freaking bicep. Your weak ass little bicep. So ICE made the biggest fentanyl bust in ever. Enough to kill millions of Americans. It was a powdery version of a dirty bomb coming across the southern border. And I think ICE arrested like 130 people in Michigan last week as well for they started a fake college, which there are a couple of them out there that you don't actually have to go to any classes or anything. You just pay the school and they have you as attending. You get no degree because you switch your majors, but you can stay in for like 6 years. And that's how you beat the school visa lazily. And people are up in arms because they did that. Like, yeah, that's illegal. It's more illegal than going on your printer and printing your own registration or insurance. It's a crime, people. Also, the Krasensteins are just being absolute turds because they're the Krasensteins. While you're out there shouting, "Go Pats" or "Go Rams," I'm out here shouting, "Go Mueller" and the rule of law. Like, dude, you don't care about laws. You're literally letting Hillary slide, and you're, I don't know why you picked the Mueller investigation. It's going to end in 2 months. You need to pick something new. You literally only have the month of February left. Mueller's already come out and said he's got nothing. That's clear from the documentation of the Roger Stone arrest. If I'm literally getting emails telling me everything I need to know that's in the WikiLeaks folders on Hillary Clinton because we're cheating with Russia, I don't have to hire Roger Stone to talk to WikiLeaks about what's going to be leaked to get an advance notice of it, because I already know because I'm in bed with Russia. And if that Russian happened to be a tranny who got me for all my money in a weird rape thing, I would tell everybody because I don't want it to happen to somebody else. And that's how that went full circle. Is this thing on?
It is.
Yep.
I'm just in the midst of other things.
So the Farmington Hills University that was set up by the feds to nab illegal immigrants is freaking hilarious. The U.S. government said the Department of Homeland Security created a fake university at 3500 Northwestern Highway in Farmington Hills. That's actually, is that the old CompuWare building? That is the old CompuWare building. I used to work there. And described itself on its website as a real university, but was fake. According to the indictments unsealed on January 30th, 2019, 8 people have been indicted, and 6 of them from Metro Detroit. Department of Homeland Security set up a fake university in Farmington Hills to target foreign students who wanted to stay in the U.S. without proper authorization, according to federal indictments unsealed in Detroit on Wednesday. 8 people were arrested and indicted in this immigration fraud case and conspiracy to commit visa fraud and harboring aliens for profit. And the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan said 6 of them were arrested in Metro Detroit, 1 in Florida, and another in Virginia. The students enrolled in a fake university with the intent to obtain jobs under a student visa program called CPT, Circular Practice Training, that allows students to work in the U.S., said prosecutors. A indictment said the defendants helped at least 600 foreign citizens to illegally remain or re-enter and work in the United States, actively recruited them to enroll in a fraudulent school as part of a pay-to-stay scheme. The indictments were January 15th and unsealed Wednesday. They alleged that from February 2017 to January 2019, the defendants conspired with each other and others to fraudulently facilitate hundreds of foreign nationals in illegally remaining and working in the United States by actively recruiting them to enroll into Metro Detroit private university that, unbeknownst to the conspirators, was operated by Homeland Security investigation. Special agents, as part of the underground operation, investigative arm of the U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement, part of Homeland Security. The fake university led to 130 arrests. Detroit Foundation Hotel is racist toward black workers. 24-year-old suspect turned himself in after 3-year-old's fatal shooting.
I need to get a WD-40. This thing is squeaky.
Yeah, no friggin' shit.
That's an understatement.
It's almost worse than Josh's was.
My buddy, the Outsider, just retweeted all 3 of them. He figures one of those are going to be the right one, so he just sent them all in. Thanks, buddy.
I will argue with the dictionary, Judd. Not to mention, why does Liam Neeson need to be carrying that around? Dude's got a huge cock.
How do you know that?
Because if you go to neesoncock.com, you can learn all about it.
God damn it, now I have to learn how to spell his last name. This is nonsense. These are Leslie Nielsen. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Never mind. Be right back.
Yeah, Neeson, not Nielsen.
And Liam, not Leslie.
No, it was L. That was where I got confused.
It's not gay, dude. You got to appreciate talent and ability where you find it. And all you can do is look at it on.
Nice. I'd go out and meet your wife, but this place isn't wheelchair accessible. Um, what kind of stupid shit was there this week? Oh, Mary Poppins and coal miners are so racist.
Well, not only did it happen for Mary Poppins, but if you looked at some of the reports, and I went down everybody's throat that did this, from Sargon to Styx to Roaming to all of them that did this. Andy No did it too. I'm like, there was an asshole here in Phoenix who found a picture on a wall in one of the bars downtown that had a bunch of coal miners because in blackface technically because they were busy working in a fucking coal mine having a beer after work, and he's offended by it because there's no other possible reason for white people to have dirty faces than unless they're trying to make fun of blacks.
The real no, that's bullshit because they internalized blackface because all those fuckers died of black lung.
Yeah. So
it was a she, by the way.
Here in Arizona.
Yeah, the one in
Arizona. The guy I saw running his gums was definitely a dude.
The article I read, it was a chick.
Yeah, no, the guy I saw on TV running his gums was definitely a dude.
Oh, I read an article.
Yeah, so it's probably a group of them, and they wanted their 15 minutes of fame. And unfortunately, people that are hip to the outrage mobs decided to glom onto it. I'm like, no, don't feed this beast. These are just assholes being assholes for a purpose.
Coal miners in blackface.
Yeah, I think the only comeback to that at this point is, man, they should have been mining that clean coal we got today. Some black guy tweets, my friend is starting his own basketball league and he already has a few team names. The Miami Coke, the San Francisco Soy Boys, Chicago Crime, New York Rats, and LA Bums, or the Skid Row Kings.
Oh, did y'all see that video that I shared of MS-13 killing a guy in New York on train?
Yeah, I try not to watch murder videos, so I'm I take a pass on that one.
Fair enough. I'll share the link in the chat for everyone now.
I just got this tweet from Charlie Kirk. Did you know from 2006 to 2017, the IRS spent $15.5 million to purchase military style guns, equipment, and ammo? It's not true. I mean, it's partially true. It's just not true though. The calibers they were buying: 22 long rifle, 306 or 30-06, 22 Win Mag. They were buying up ammunition just to hurt the American people with their budget. It wasn't about military equipment, because the military equipment gets to the IRS by the ATF, which are the taxman with guns. Ammo they forgot to grab? 40 cal.
MRAP.
Well, you know why they're militarizing the police, don't you?
Well, it certainly isn't to take on the cartels.
In 98, they sent out a survey to the military. And when it came back, would you shoot your neighbor for breaking the law in a declared martial law setting? Military said no.
So they need the cops to do it for them?
So they weren't appreciating that response, and they're like, oh, well, fuck you guys. We'll talk to the UN. UN failed them, and in like 2002, they sent it to the police departments. After 9/11 and everything, in a month had settled down, they sent it to the police departments, and the police departments were like, hell yeah, we'll shoot our neighbors. That's what we do. We're cops. And that's when the MRAP started rolling out to police departments.
I kind of wanted an MRAP, I'm not going to lie.
I don't want a gas bill for an MRAP, even though we're under $2 a gallon right now.
Oh, dude, I was just going to make mine natural gas.
That's not any better.
I'd Jeff Dunn on that.
It was a joke, son. It was a joke.
then I filled my Hummer with gas and pushed it home.
Yeah, pretty much. It is now the new front yard ornament.
I do love me some Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, his older stuff is great.
I like his old wife. His new wife, not so much.
I don't know. I like his new wife a little more. He upgraded for sure. He's definitely looser on stage with the swearing and such. It's not quite as family friendly as it used to be.
Well, he's got fuck you money, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
He does. If you've ever seen his car collection, it's atrocious.
Yeah, I'll just take the helicopter. He can keep the car.
Oh, fuck. Sinatra put out his first Tales from the Gas Station. That's my favorite creepypasta. I wonder if he'll do it justice. I got a buddy who doesn't like creepypastas because the people don't suffer enough in them because they're the ones writing the creepypasta. You know, it's all first-hand accounts, so none of them ever get murdered to death. Which is a fair criticism for a horror story. But the Tales from the Gas Station is it's actually it's wonky and funny. Like it's Addams Family more than it is the Manson family. So I have that to look forward to. Not on my computer, because my Google broke. Sons of bitches. I literally have I have no idea how long we've been going.
It doesn't really matter. We'll go till we're done. There was something I was going to bring up about the governor, too. Now I can't remember what the hell it is.
Which governor? We're still talking about Virginia?
Yeah.
Oh, Virginia's so screwed. They had McAuliffe, now they got this guy. You know, 93 million Americans are going to die every day in gun violence.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta think about who's voting for these people in Virginia. I mean, outside of the D.C. area, what other city does Virginia really have? Richmond, kind of, sort of.
Charlottesville?
Huh?
I remember there's a Charlottesville.
Isn't that West Virginia though?
No. Charlottesville is definitely Virginia. That was where the Unite the Right rally was, and Terry McAuliffe's the guy who shut it down before it even started because it was too violent. But he knew that he had to give the order for the order to get out. It was going to take a while, so they waited until everybody was there, having ran through the gauntlet to get in and been checked for weapons. Once they were in, it was shut down, and knowing they didn't have weapons, and all the Antifa and jackasses were outside the gauntlet, having not been searched, they were sent out into the gauntlet again.
That sounds more like what happened at Berkeley.
Was Berkeley shut down, though?
Well, I mean, the Battle of Berkeley was basically that. There was the, I think it was a Patriots prayer meeting.
No, that's in Oregon.
Well, I know that's in Oregon, but I think that they came down to Berkeley to do one there, and everybody was in the park for that, and they all had to go through security and not make sure that they weren't armed. And Antifa was literally in the streets surrounding the park, waiting for it to be over. And that's when they started running down the barricades, and the cops retreated, like actually retreated away. And that's when the Battle of Berkeley broke out.
No, wasn't that Auburn where that happened? I think that was Auburn.
That's where Basin Stickman got famous.
Yeah, that was Berkeley.
Because there was two battles of Berkeley. There's that one where he got famous, and then the second one where he went back in basically full hockey armor. And that's one of the ones where the Antifa was tossing fist-sized bricks and M80s and shit. Where the Moldy Locks got punched right in her grill. That was the second Battle of Berkeley.
That was my favorite fisting of her videos. Out of the 3 fisting videos she had, that's my favorite. Oh, Gavin McInnes filed a lawsuit against the SPLC for defamation and the labeling of his boys a hate group. So let's hope he gets that completed.
You know what he might have? He might actually have a written document from Glenn Beck terminating his work with then CRTV, now Blaze TV, because Glenn Beck probably cited that the SPLC considers him and the Proud Boys a terrorist organization or a hate group or whatever. And if that comes out in the trial, there goes Blaze TV.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well, guys, I hate to cut y'all off, but I have to go to bed now. Have work early in the morning, so I will.
Anti-infanticide bill. Wait, I got to read this article. Apparently, Senate Democrats block GOP anti-infanticide bill spurred by Ralph Northam's comments. Ben Sass, you're either for babies or you're defending infanticide. An effort by Senate Republicans to enhance protections for newborns who survived abortion, spurred by New York and Virginia bills making it easier to perform late-term procedures, was blocked Monday by Democrats. Senate Ben Sass, Nebraska Republican, asked the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act to be approved by unanimous consent after an outcry over comments last week by Virginia Governor Ralph Northam decried on the right as pro-infanticide. There are only two sides of this debate on the floor debate tonight. There's only two sides of the debate on the floor debate tonight. Nice. You're either for babies or you're defending infanticide, said Mr. Sass on the floor speech. That is actually what the legislation that's before us. Disagreeing with Senator Patty Murray, Washington Democrat, who objected to the request for unanimous consent, effectively derailing the bill, 40 Republicans and no Democrats co-sponsored Senate Bill 130. We have a law against infanticide in this country, said Ms. Murray. This is a gross misinterpretation of the actual language of the bill that is being asked to be considered, and therefore I object. Yeah, you protect those baby killers. Mr. Sass, who has also sought to use the Rule 14 Rule 14 process to expedite the legislation, said the issue had taken on new urgency as state Democrats pushed to remove obstacles to third trimester abortions. This is disgusting.
Yeah, they've abandoned the bullshit lies of the last 30 years of safe, legal, and rare, and women's choice and anything like that. This is straight up evil murdering babies.
2000 under Clinton, safe, legal, and rare. 2010 under Obama, I don't want my daughter's burdened with a child young. 2020, let's kill the toddler.
Right.
He's more expensive than I thought he was going to be. Let's abort.
Well, and they're running articles in their yellow rags about how it's life is better if you don't have children, and you can save yourself $500,000 over your life by not having children, and yet these idiots still need to replace the population that dies off naturally, so we have to supplement that with bullshit immigration. It's just everything that they stand for is reprehensible. They do everything completely wrong. And they're proud of it because they're fucking stupid.
It's disgusting.
It is. I agree.
But if anything's going to push freedom-loving right-wing Americans to arms, that's fucking killing real babies.
And it's disgusting to me that they're in these governmental chambers and saying stuff like the mental health of the woman and the physical health of the woman, not life of the woman. I'm for saving the life of a woman if the pregnancy is going to kill her. I am not about killing anything out of convenience. I take that back. I'm not for killing humans out of convenience.
Is Michael Moore human?
Might be a whale.
We're gonna need a DNA test you if you're more than 33% swine from beef ribs. You're out of here, buddy.
Pretty sure he doesn't bleed. He just drips barbecue sauce.
Does he still have a house in Flint? Is he dripping barbecue sauce and lead?
Dude, I would have imagined he, much like anybody with any lick of sense, abandoned Michigan as the first possible opportunity.
Fact check true.
He's a Democrat. He's not retarded.
Excuse me?
Well,
how'd you get to that conclusion?
Not. He can work a film camera, so can't be completely retarded.
I don't understand how you're getting these conclusions.
I don't know either. Might just be jacking my jaw. I take it Poet lives in Michigan?
He does.
Get out of the mid, dude. Go to somewhere better like Ohio.
No. That's our natural enemy.
I know. That's why I said it.
Although I did really like a couple years ago, the Buckeyes dean. They started a protest in the library, and they're like, "Library is for studying. If you're not in the library to study, you will be expelled. Be back in 30 minutes with the papers." Came back with expulsion papers with no names on them, and everybody was there studying. And I'm like, "That's how you do it, boy."
Yeah, I'm tired of giving in to fucking stupidity out of just courteousness and niceness. I'm done with it. I'm over it.
When I was at U of M, we were there was this guy named, I think, Cornwall. Hey, he's a businessman from California, and a black dude, and he is very much against affirmative action. And the speaker was going to be talking about affirmative action, and the Wolverines, the basketball team, was on the steps of going up to the lecture, practicing their whipping basketballs back and forth. For funsies. So literally threatening to peg somebody who walked up the stairs to get there. And I got my picture in the paper for slapping down a basketball and being approached by he was already a giant, but it doesn't really matter because I'm also a very large person. But he was 2 steps up from me, so he was probably 6'7", 6'8", and I was my 6'4", 6'5". But because he was 2 steps up, he looked like he was towering over me. But he was also a beanpole, and I'm a broad-shouldered man. So we were in the paper over a racial dispute. Like, no, I'm on the paper because you're whipping fucking basketballs back and forth at students' head level. All because they want to attend a lecture that's against the equal opportunity employment laws spoken by a black man. You couldn't shut him down because it was racist, so you had to
manufacture.
Yeah,
a manufacturer crisis. Well, it's kind of like what's going on with the GCU kicking Ben Shapiro off. Now, I for one think that Ben relishes a certain number of those things happening to him yearly so that he can cry victim and talk about it. But I still think the administrations are weak for not letting him talk.
like that math video that came out, that was some bullshit.
Which one?
Matt's video on that debate.
Oh God, down in here at ASU. Yeah, that pissed me right the hell off. That did not even make local news, at least not in the Valley. I'm sure it made the ASU news, but it did not make it to any of the locals here, which is interesting. But yeah, that pissed both me and the missus off Saturday morning.
That's not cool.
No, and what kills me the most is with that, it's blatantly racist, but not in the way that the people that are in the argument think that it is. They're basically it's racist and sexist at the same time, but to white males, which seems to be acceptable, which is still both sexist and racist. But they're decrying the white men for being sexist and racist for saying it's not racist. It's just, it makes the brain hurt because it's so 180 degrees backwards from reality. And they've swallowed this bullshit and to the core of their being believe it and fight against it at the same time. It's just for as black-pilled as Blonde says she is. When I see shit like that, and I see two dudes that are probably going to end up okay, but I see two women and the adult instructor doing it 100% wrong, I get black-pilled. Because the power resided in that adult. And he got it completely fucking wrong.
Absolutely.
And that needs to be corrected. And when I tweeted out that I want to go meet this guy so I can rotate his muffler bearings, I absolutely mean it. I would very much like to bump into him in a bar, take him outside, and have some good in-depth look at some concrete.
We'll be right back.
I'm going to float this thing myself? What? We're losing everybody. Garrick jumps, Judd jumps, Jay jumps. It's just you and me, Poet. It's been kind of a slow news week. The only thing that's really been going on is the governor nonsense in Virginia. Trump's going to give the State of the Union, so I'm sure that'll all change in 24 hours. But for now, it's kind of a snoozer of a week. Have at it, man. Go. They must be doing a wellness check on Jay to make sure he's still pushing air in and out. Dead air. My kid singing the Rocky thing. I think it's too early to call. The Dem and VP. Well, the VP is going to be a no-name compromise because they always are. They kind of come out of the woodwork late in the game. Right now, Camel Toe Harris, is probably the leader. I don't think Biden will do it. I don't think he'll Romney himself like Romney did for the running against an incumbent expecting to win, because that hardly ever happens. I don't think the radical Dems will go for him anyway. And if you take a look at what Schultz did, the Democratic base does not want rational thinking, realistic people.
The base doesn't?
No, they don't. They want nuts. They want AOC. They want Kamala Harris. Hell, they want Spartacus Booker. They want fucking nuts.
Booker T. Spartacus.
And T-Bone. That's who it's going to be. There's my pick. Now I've got it. It's going to be
T-Bone for
Booker
VP?
and T-Bone. Booker and T-Bone. VP T-Bone.
Booker T-Bone 2020.
Oh, now Nephilim shows up.
He was lost.
Where have you been? It's okay. So who's your pick there, Jay?
It's still too early. Who I want to see is like Booker. I'd love to see Booker go up against him and try the racial shit. Because, like, dude, you've literally got sexual harassment against you. I think his last speech was, "I miss President Obama and her wife."
Yeah, and her husband, but yeah.
Nope, both dudes.
Well, probably. I mean, it's to the point now where, like, 8 years ago, I would have said, you're out of your minds.
14
Now
bulges later.
Yeah, as I say, now there's enough evidence there for me to go, I can't dismiss that out of hand. Swim stuff. I was a competitive swimmer. Swim stuff is fun. Yeah, but Biden's never actually assaulted anybody per se. I mean, he's creepy as hell, but he hasn't actually like grabbed a pussy or had to apologize for sexual assault like Booker.
I think my YouTube is back.
My kid's singing the theme to Rocky. I'm not quite sure why.
Can you sing the theme to, like, is he singing like Eye of the Tiger?
Yeah.
No. I don't think that's technically the theme.
The last movie I saw, I caught the tail end of Mr. Right. And I guess the sequel to Infinity War is coming in April.
Yep.
You would think there would be more hype around that.
They can't right now. They've got Captain America coming out or whatever. Captain Marvel.
I've heard that. I've heard that it's definitely worth a watch. I need to go see it. And I have not I've not seen Split at all. I didn't even realize it was part of that same story. But I did enjoy Unbreakable, although that was like 20 years ago.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
I'm on my computer. Yay! Hold up the Googles. I got everything back in some sort of active order. Just had to do a hard reset and a soft reset.
both the hardware and the software.
Now your phone is too close to your mic.
Actually, I just moved it. I moved it. Good. We got Flo doing the Progressive. Did she do a commercial on the Super Bowl?
I did not see one.
She definitely brought out the crow's feet. Jen Lynn, she's got a hot take on the New England Patriots win another Super Bowl. Leftists claim that it's a victory for hate. But I'm not going to watch it because it's Rams Paul.
Yeah, they just go down these avenues of stupid, and I can't even get outraged anymore. It's just so fucking dumb.
Apparently, Larry Bird is like the official hate monger of the NBA because he was a good white player.
And the last one, apparently, unless you count Dan Marley.
Who?
He played for the Suns, so maybe he wasn't as good as everybody says he was. Obviously not as good as Larry Bird.
Good morning to black people. I hope we all have a great day. The rest of y'all can shut the fuck up. I wonder when this was tweeted. I want to check the time on this. It'd be funny if it was like noon. 9:50 a.m. Wake the fuck up earlier, skank.
Saudi Arabia gave military weapons shipped from the U.S. to Al-Qaeda. What? You mean Saudi Arabia doesn't like us?
Find that hard to believe. Man gets 60 years for impregnating an 11-year-old girl in Texas. 60 years? I don't think it'll be lasting 6 months in Texas.
No, they'll let him dig his hole first.
Yeah, just beat his ass for like a couple of years before you go murdering him. Let him serve some time before he sits on a mop handle.
Famous rapper 21 Savage, who has talked extensively about his childhood upbringing in the hoods of Atlanta, is discovered to be an illegal alien felon from the UK.
Must deport.
He is set to be deported.
Is this fucking real?
What's that?
There's a picture of Kim Jong Il with fucking Duarte. Oh my god, are these real?
Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg makes her first public appearance since surgery.
They're eating fried chicken. Is this fucking real? What am I looking at here? I don't even know. It's they're both raising AKs in the air in one photo. Both using good trigger discipline. Then eating fried chicken, which almost looks like it's a KFC type of fried chicken, Jubilee. I don't know if this is real or not, but I'd like to believe this is real.
Okay, nothing about this. Okay, number one, it's CNN, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. But nothing about this makes any damn sense. So they're saying that Ruth Bader Ginsburg made an appearance today, but the article has a picture of her from 2 years ago, And it says that Ruth Bader Ginsburg made what is believed to be her first public appearance since her December cancer surgery.
From an article 2 years ago?
Well, no. The picture that's attached to the article is 2 years ago. But the first sentence is Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg made what is believed to be her first public appearance since her December cancer surgery. Why is that so wishy-washy? Is it or is it not? Number one. Number two, she attended a performance of Notorious R.B.G. Song on Monday, the Supreme Court spokesperson told CNN. So these people weren't even there. They are being told this by somebody at the Supreme Court. The Washington outing was to support her daughter-in-law.
Oh my God, it's true. Oh, they're impersonators. God damn it.
Her daughter-in-law's name is Patrice Michaels. Who names a girl Patrice? Who released an album of songs chronicling Ginsburg's life. So it's her son and daughter-in-law producing an album about her. The concert was performed by Michaels and other musicians and was held at the National Museum of Women in the Arts. But we can't confirm this because the only people to tell us this are a Supreme Court spokesperson. Jeff Rosen, CEO of the National Constitution Center, what the fuck is that? Tweeted the news of Ginsburg attendance. Thrilled that Justice Ginsburg attended her first concert performance of the Notorious R.B.G. Song. She, Patrice Michaels, and the performance were magnificent, but did not take a picture of her in attendance.
She's not going to be there tomorrow.
Hang on. She can go to a concert in her honor, but she can't go to the fucking State of the Union.
There's going to be a press release about her boycotting the State of the Union. But because she was somewhere Monday, allegedly, she won't have to be somewhere Tuesday. And everyone was going to reference that fucking tweet as the proof. Did you see that anti-abortion chick, the pro-choice or the pro-life or the pro-abortion chick that was on Tucker Carlson last week?
I didn't see the whole segment, but I saw Bering's segment on it just before we went live. Yeah. I should be watching that on Sinatra's channel because he's the one who always covers Tuck, but I don't because I'm a lousy fan of Sinatra's.
Ditto. I don't watch any of his live stuff. I'm butthurt because everyone there's a moderator.
Gee, I wonder who else does that.
Me.
Who does that?
Speaking of Neo had a live stream this morning, and I harassed him for a wrench.
I noticed that he's been doing that. He'll make his videos a live stream and then just leave them up as his videos, which is a neat way to do it, I think.
Yeah, and then he interacts with the audience too in the.
Yeah, my problem is that I never catch it until he's like at least almost done.
Dude, this was like 11 a.m.
Which is 9 a.m. my time. I'm just getting into work and getting everything organized.
I'm in the middle of sleep.
Yeah, but
I passed out watching. I passed out watching Beauty and the Beta like 3 times. It was not an episode I could stay conscious for.
Here it is. The court has not said whether Ginsburg will attend President Donald Trump's State of the Union address Tuesday evening, but it is not expected, given that she has missed Trump's previous addresses to Congress.
Yep. See, she's going to use that as her. I'm so good at this. I should be a commentator for politics. Mr. Fry, you're quoted here as saying that bitch is lying. Is that true? Like, he sounds like me.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And I think Trump needs to start asking for proof of life.
She's alive, right? I mean, come on.
Okay, so my buddy and I were talking about this today. Now, my buddy is a retired cop. Okay, very straight and narrow, very straight edge sort of guy. He's one of the good cops, but even he's like, we determined that they have to keep her alive for this entire calendar year, and even if she dies, they're going to fake like she's alive until January of 2020, because in January of 2020 they can then claim the Gore rule.
No, the Biden doctrine.
The Biden doctrine. Yeah, you're right. It's Biden. The Biden doctrine, and not seat another Supreme Court justice. So no matter what, they're all in on her faking being functional for the next 11 months.
No. I mean, I don't think highly of Democrats at all, but they can't do that.
The hell they can't. Clinton is still walking
free, autopsy.
Dude. There wasn't an autopsy for Scalia. And he died under weird circumstances, and there wasn't an autopsy.
What?
They did not do an autopsy on Scalia.
Oh, fucking course I can spell Scalia. S-C-A-L-I... Hey, Scalia? I don't know why I'm so worried about spelling Scalia. I can't even spell autopsy. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Why Antonin Scalia wasn't autopsied?
I can tell you why he wasn't autopsied. And this is, okay, this is my tinfoil. This is the tinfoil hat that I will fully put on. I can never prove it, but I will go out on a limb and say that given the circumstances of Scalia dying and when he died, I think it was a hit. I think that Obama got to the end of his reign and realized he wasn't going to get to seat anybody on the Supreme Court, and they decided to make it happen. And they took out
2 judges.
Who did he sit? Oh, yeah, I guess he sat Sotomayor, didn't he?
And Kagan.
Okay, so there goes that theory.
That theory was weak as fuck, bro.
Yeah, it was. Totally weak as fuck. I agree. I still think that they had reason to off him, though.
Oh, yeah, that was a Wetworks team. No question. My dad had to have an autopsy because he died outside his own house. I saw it. I was there. His little last words, I heard him. And he died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
They still autopsied him, despite my request not to.
Yeah, so the fact that you don't autopsy a Supreme Court justice who dies in Texas on a private ranch. What?
That wasn't his.
Right. What?
Yeah.
What? No, that makes no damn sense. So if you think you can tell me that they're going to have to autopsy Ginsburg, no, they're not. They've already got a cause of death ready to go. Lung cancer.
Better be open fucking casket. Dude,
She'll be cremated, dude.
I
I mean,
don't know about this. That's dude.
There is
You convince me
too
the moon
much.
landing happened, and I'm not willing to take this one. I don't even know if the moon landing happened, but I don't know if I could get on board with this one.
Oh, dude, they will absolutely make sure that she does these fake appearances. Again, until you can show me that there's an actual picture of her at this event, not somebody saying she was there. I want actual proof she was at this event. Then I don't believe she was at this event. I don't even know that she's still alive. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, and she's still pushing air in and out. But I don't think she's mobile. She may not even be conscious.
Oh, yeah, I can be there. That's no problem for me.
But as long as her body is, she could be brain dead. As long as her body is functional and she is still alive, they will do everything they can to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't get another Supreme Court nomination. Look what they did with the last one.
I can go that far.
So they have every motive in the world. If she dies in March, if she dies in August, to fake like she's alive until 2020.
Dude, that was a jump, bro. From March to August.
It's 6 months.
Yeah, it's it's 5 months, but yeah, that's March to August is a big jump.
Again, she dies anytime in 2019. They will do everything they can to make it like she dies in January of next year.
We are going to have to put laws in place to, like, every 3 months somebody has to be seen. Like, get your ass out here, Howard Hughes. I don't care if you're growing fingernails.
Well, and I think this is a good opportunity to bring up a constitutional amendment that does not seat Supreme Court justices for life. I don't know that they need a term, but they need to have a retirement age that's set in stone.
How do we go about getting term limits?
The best option for term limits right now is Ted Cruz's amendment proposition in the Senate.
Okay, so how do we go about getting that? Do I have to watch Schoolhouse Rock to find out how a bill becomes a law?
So yeah, there's a bill on Capitol Hill. No, because it's not even a bill. This has to be a constitutional amendment. It has to be written in as a constitutional amendment.
All right, how do I start that process?
You can have a convention of the states in which the states will send delegates to have a conversation about it. And then they can write it, and then it has to be ratified by the state assemblies of 27.
33.
Is it 33? I thought it was 27.
It's 33. It was 27. Back when the 27th Amendment was still the supposed to be the 11th Amendment. And there's only 13 fucking states still.
So that's one way, and then it still has to be ratified by the states. They could write it into law, but it still has to go through the state assemblies and be ratified.
Yeah, it's 2/3. 27 is way less than 2/3. Yeah, 33, 66 out of 100. $66 is 9 less than 75. Just 3/4.
We got to go back there.
I like that one. This is a good visit.
Yeah. I was going to do a response video to that guy's video, but I couldn't be arsed to watch it all the way through, and now it's that opportunity. That window is shut.
I'm still trying to figure out a good program to screen cap. Not screen cap, but record computer pages.
What do you mean?
To record a page. I've got the template in place. I've got I don't have an intro or anything like that, but I just need to be able to take a screen and minimize it into the template and record it.
I don't understand what you mean.
Sargon did a video, and he was a statue with a microphone in front of him, and I really like that. But I'm also arrogant, so I had it done differently and much more grandiose. But I've still got a microphone in front of me, and next to me is a projection screen, basically, and I want to be able to fit like either photos or whatever I'm talking about within that frame. So I need to.
You can do that in OBS.
OBS.
And OBS is free.
And it'll record it?
Yeah. And it takes a while to get used to. I mean, I was fiddle farting around with it about a year ago, and it was one of those things I kept saying, well, I need a good solid 3 or 4 hours to figure this out. And I've never set aside that 3 or 4 hours.
One of the few things I would give fucking pedo Jeff Holiday is he has a very comprehensive and quality OBS.
I agree.
Primer.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything I know about OBS, I learned from Jeff Holiday, and he needs to do more stuff like that because he's actually really good at explaining that stuff on a level that makes a lot of sense, and he doesn't go too fast, and he's not all like, oh, just click this and do that, do this and do that. And it's like, this is really cool, and this, that, and the other thing. He's really good about being like, dude, I know nothing about this, so here's what I figured out. Check this out. Do this, and I did this, and that was kind of cool. So do it this way, and that's kind of cool. And
yeah, you're gonna need to format this in a P21 setting, and then flash that to your widget, your bobber. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, if Holiday would do, if he would do more of that stuff, I'd be a bigger fan. I gotta say, I kind of, I like the guy, but I don't love the guy.
Oh, it says OBS as well. All right, I have OBS. I will have to look into that.
I know a couple of videos you could watch.
Well, I got those videos.
Got in an argument with his wife tonight, but oh well.
Well, what about how not to get knocked up while you're sleeping in somebody's used truck?
No, and what's funny is I actually like her more than I like Jeff, but she was arguing about Patreon and defending Patreon to Tim Pool, and I'm like, oh hell no, we're not having any of this shit. Fuck Patreon in their face. And I told her, I was like, yeah, they're not worth, I will never give them any money, and I think less of people that still use them. And she's like, well, you can think less of me all you want, and, sorry your feels are hurt. I'm like, it has nothing to do with my feelings. It's that they are objectively a shit company doing shit work with shit people. They work for the creators. The creators do not work for them. They do not work for the payment processors. They are a payment processor for the creators. And they got that so wrong. And that was so evident in Matt's video and conversation with What's Her Nuts.
I never did watch that, though, the one Sargon put out.
You should, because it made me appreciate
V.
It made me appreciate V. I still kick him, but it made me appreciate V. He is an actor for our time. Did you read the transcript though?
I read the transcript, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you can read that and still come away thinking that Patreon's good to work with in any way, shape, or form, your brain's broken. So it's not that I'm jumping on the Ruben Jordan bandwagon or Ruben Peterson bandwagon. I'm more of the conversation that the guy I know, Matt, having that conversation that did it for me. It's like, okay, they kick Sargon. Okay, that's shitty, but whatever. But it was Matt's conversation with those people that made me realize they do not deserve a dime of my money.
Yeah, I sent you the my templates just to show you how arrogant they are.
What, to Gun Club or something?
No, to your to our
there you go.
DMs.
That's fantastic.
Pasted that all on his own. I just specified what I wanted, and he's like, "I got you." I was like, "Just my fucking head."
It's fantastic. Yes.
The thing I want, the only thing I need is like to figure out how to special effect an echo when I yell, because I definitely want to be doing some yelling.
I don't know how to do that in OBS, but you could definitely. I don't know. There's got to be a reverb setting that you could hook up.
Bless me.
Yeah,
Sinatra
sure.
does it. I'll ask him.
Yeah, but I don't think he does it. I think he does it in his produced videos, not in his live streams, right?
Well, this wouldn't be live stream. This would be a production video.
Gotcha. No, you should definitely do that. That's pretty awesome.
I like it. I might go to Fiverr and get an intro. Then I'll have to learn how to do that.
I can do. I'm better at the sound engineering than I am at the video engineering, and definitely than the graphics. My graphics skills are lame.
Oh, you talk about that off air.
I mean, I can do a collage or a quick Photoshop, but man, I am nowhere near face level or anything like that.
You know what? I mean, we can't get face involved because England, but there should be a video out there of literally how abortions work. Because I just saw the doctor who explained second and third trimester abortions and how they do them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, there's a photo floating around of a hospital setting, and there's a bucket on the ground that's got baby pieces in it.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I know. It is fucking repugnant, and it's like a 5-gallon paint bucket full of person, and it's just repugnant.
Oh, it says, "Oh, if you set your sources to your scenes, you can do it fairly easily." I'm like, I don't know what any of that means. Literally, don't know what any of that means. I'm assuming sources is web page, scenes is I got nothing. I don't know what we're talking about here. But my last attempt was using Wondershare, and it kept crashing on me because this by no means is a new healthy computer. This is old computer.
Yeah, I'm with you on the busted computer thing because the rig I built in November has crapped out on me, and I've got to send the motherboard back for the Insureon reimbursement. So I had to go and order a whole nother motherboard because I don't want to just take everything off and out of this one and have it just laying around without something else for it to go into. So I'm just going to have to float the motherboard cost. while I wait for the reimbursement. So Wednesday, I will be rebuilding the computer that I built 2 months ago.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's just a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully that's all that's is damaged is the motherboard, because if I get into it and find out that something else popped, I'm in a real world of hurt.
Yeah. All right, let's one last run through Twitter. Let's see if there's anything good. Then we can just get out of here.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I didn't watch any of the Super Bowl.
It was boring. And the commercials sucked.
I was in a live stream, and then I talked to a whammon until like 2:30 in the morning.
A whammon? A different whammon?
A whammon. Because I'm a player.
Which whammon?
I can't tell you.
So not Bunny.
Super secret. Oh no, Bunny has been AWOL for the last. Well, it's I think I talked to her once this week. That wasn't last Monday, but not Bunny, because this girl does not have a boyfriend. Takes up all her goddamn time, Howie. He listens to this in the morning. He's gonna be lost. He probably won't even listen to this.
Gonna go to the wrong channel and be like, what?
Oh, 27 minutes. Okay, that was weird. They didn't talk about anything.
I fully expect not to get any views on this once we actually end this on air thing.
Two Israeli Jews arrested for largest gold smuggling case in Japan's history. That's nice. Conservative students more informed than liberals because they have to be, Phillips says in a video.
Fact check true.
Mm-hmm. I'm usually pretty good with those, like those on-the-man things. They're like, show me Illinois. I'm like, well, that one. Colorado always gets me. Like, if you want to be like, where's Colorado? I'm like, fuck if I know. Like, I'll name like everything surrounding Colorado and be like, this one? Because I always think it's like right next to Nevada and California. I just picture the Rockies being a little bit
further west
than they
are.
Yeah, just a little bit more west.
To be fair, they are fairly large. So
yeah, but they're not nearly as west as I believe they are.
That's true. Yeah, there's a whole desert in between the Sierra Nevadas and the Rockies. So, and most of that is Nevada and Idaho. And Oregon, for that matter. Most of Oregon, well, about half of Oregon is on the wrong side of the Sierra Nevadas. All right, we got anything else?
Gladys Knight did the nation proud.
Heard it was good. Didn't actually see it, so sure.
For some reason I've got a Gladys Knight retweet about it. Thank you for allowing me this moment to honor our great nation. Boy, is she gonna get some shit for that. LeBron won't go to the White House if he wins. Loses. Rams won't go to the White House if they win. Loses. That's funny.
It's almost like there's a Trump curse.
Mm-hmm. Which makes me wonder what kind of shit J.J. Watts was talking last year. Like, I thought he was a Trump guy, and he does the, he was down there helping the Cajun Navy and everything. Then he blows out his fucking everything. I'm like, wondering about this. All right. So we didn't talk about the family attorney for the Sandman. Well, the Covington kids. The list of the people that they're suing: Washington Post, New York Times, CNN, The Guardian, National Public Radio. So they got NPR in there, TMZ, Atlantic Media Group. I don't know who that counts for. Capitol Hill Publishing Corps, the Diocese of Covington, the Diocese of Lexington, the Archdiocese of Louisville, the Diocese of Baltimore, Anna Cabrera, Sarah Sider, Aaron Burnt, S.E. Cupp, Elliot M. McLaughlin, Amanda Watts, Emmanuel Grinberg, Michelle Borsman. Borstein. I can't read this because stuff's on here. All right, I don't know who else was it. Joe Heim, Michael Miller, Eli Rosenberg, blah, 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 Maggie Haberman, Kurt Eichenwald from Tentacle fame, Joy Reid, Chuck Todd.
Chuck Todd?
Yeah,
I'm surprised
HBO.
I'm surprised he did not walk his shit back.
Bill Maher. Well, S.E. Cupp did, but she's still on this list. But it's basically an email that it was a letter sent to all of their addresses saying retract or else. So they're given the time to retract now, and they have to. GQ, Heavy.com, The Hill, The Atlantic, Bustle.com, Ilhan Omar, Elizabeth Warren, Kathy Griffin, Alyssa Milano, and Jim Carrey. But who isn't on that list is the CNN former cannibal. Well, the former CNN cannibal, I guess, is how you want to say that.
Aslan?
Yeah.
I think he walked his shit back, though, didn't he?
No, he's still smug and punchable.
I could have sworn he tempered his shit. I mean, yeah, he was still going hard because everybody went hard at him, but I think he actually copped to the fact that he got it wrong out of the gate.
I think this is out of it's out of the spotlight. Fucking walk your shit back, dumbasses. It annoys me that Robert Barnes, who is helping them out, is a Cernovich fan. Cernovich is a fucking crazy fucking loon.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there that have lost their damn minds. Cernovich. I never liked Probiotic either.
Yeah.
And Owen Benjamin. Owen Benjamin, fucking loony.
What? I love that guy. What are you talking about?
He's a fucking loon, man.
What he's saying is crazy. All I hear is common sense coming from that man.
Yeah. You know that they're putting chemicals in the water that turn the frogs fucking gay, right?
Yes, I do know that.
I bet you believe that guy.
Fucking biologist. Did I tell you that story?
Well, I mean, you and I both agree. We knew about that study before Alex Jones made that statement.
I knew the study because of Alex Jones, but the study was, they're basically, everything I read on the study was contradicted by other studies. So it was kind of like, is this true? Is this not true? This is bullshit. Is this not bullshit? But then I was squirrel hunting at night with a suppressor for the UT, University of Tennessee's biology department, because they needed to brain dissect like these 10 squirrels. So we were fucking assassinating squirrels at 4 a.m. because they get out and stretch their legs before they go actively looking for shit. And I just happened to be talking to the biologist, who I'm like, why can't you just learn to shoot? Not that I don't love doing this, but like the University of Texas has the University of Tennessee has guns, man, suppressors, guns, night vision equipped 22s. So I'm murdering these small rodents. And we get to talking about I don't remember how we got on that topic, but I had said something about chimeras because we were talking about no, we were talking about prions, which is like the zombie disease, but there's
it gives you mad cow.
Yeah, and then she had asked me if I did any other hunting. And explained that you can't frog gig this year because of the low numbers. And she straight out went into chemicals in the water turning the frogs intersex. Like it was full on. Like she almost got me on that that bone broth from her conversation. She wasn't like an Alex Jones fan or anything, but she just casually mentioned that there would be no frog gigging because of the low reproductive numbers because of the
They're all
estrogen mimickers in the water, making all the dudes not dudes anymore.
Right. Well, and especially with amphibians, and I think with reptiles too, heat is a major component as to what sex that individual becomes. Like if the eggs are at a certain temperature or lower or something, I don't remember if it's lower or higher, but one of them will turn them into males from the baseline females. And then the environmental estrogens in the water will reverse that process and literally make the frogs all females, most amphibians females.
Mm-hmm.
Same with fish too, if I'm not mistaken.
She also flat earthed me on the climate change.
Flat Earth climate change? What?
Yeah, she flat earthed me on the climate. Apparently, all climate models are mathematically proven with flat Earth. Like there's the math
can't
done
even
to
comment
it.
on that.
The math and the proving that the Earth is heating and everything is the math used for how much sun is hitting the Earth is a 2D representation of the Earth. It's all hitting the Earth at the same time. It's all catching the same amount, which is why you have a higher heat number than you would if it was curved and there were shadows. And she said other things that were mathematically beyond me.
I was going to say, I don't think I can give that much credence. I mean, that may have been the case 20 years ago, but I would think that in the last 20 years, there's no reason that we I mean, if you take gaming technology and what it takes to graphically design some of the game engines and game outputs that you're seeing, there's no way that they're not doing that same shit on a workstation level for climate modeling. There's no way that they're doing that.
They're not. The math doesn't represent it.
I mean, I can't say one way or the other definitively, but I would think that that's got to be a bunch of malarkey.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not in the know one way or the other, so I can't say it for certain. But
University professor versus your dumbass.
Again,
you couldn't even fix my Google.
I could have if that's all I was focused on, but I just had a hard time giving a shit.
Oh. Those are just my feelings. No need to worry.
Besides, I had to knock the dust off my own channel for this. Come on now. But I would be interested. I would be interested to see some input on that. I mean, it's one of those things that if you say just, well, she's a, what did you say she was?
I have no idea what the hell she is.
A college professor or whatever it is. It's like every physicist thinks that they know everything.
Have you ever talked to Neil deGrasse Tyson?
I have, in fact, yes.
I tell him to fuck off every January 1st when he bullshits my Gregorian calendar.
Yeah.
The channel is for rum bottle critiques, Jay.
That was my last video. I got my Nuka Dark.
What? I missed a video?
Yeah. It was literally a 5-minute thing I threw together because I got the $80 bottle of rum I ordered back in July showed up, and it is a huge disappointment.
Oh. Yeah, and apparently, like the last time I did research, it was the 97% of climate scientists that agree, it's some fucking cartoonist made up that statistical number. It's a made up number from a cartoonist. No one has done the poll that has the uniform consensus. But as you know, 30 years ago, we had uniform consensus that there's no such thing as tectonic plates.
Yeah, that was 100 years ago. There was
That wasn't 100 years ago, was it?
Well, it is. That would be at the end of, okay, if you put this in perspective, and I know this is weird, but it's true. 100 years ago, World War I was already over.
Yeah.
I mean, planes were a thing 100 years ago. So yeah,
I didn't know.
But
dude, that's actually kind of mind blowing if you think about the time it took from car to plane, less than a decade.
1903 was the Wright brothers flight. The first car was like 1887-ish, I want to say. And that's like, it wasn't really a car. It was a horseless carriage, kind of like the Wright brothers flyer wasn't really an airplane more so than a motorized glider.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of time. And what's even more mind blowing is we went from the Wright brothers flyer to 30 years later having a Junkers bomber, which is pretty amazing.
Flat Earth Death Star. Flat Death Star, not Flat Earth, sorry. I'll have to check that out. I'll accept the appeal to authority. I will not accept slippery slope fallacies.
But I
all
mean,
slopes are slippery.
Yeah, my biggest argument against scientific quote unquote consensus is the weathermen and tectonic plates argument, because Wegener was a meteorologist, not a geologist, and therefore he was speaking out of his discipline for something that made common fucking sense. And all you have to do is look at a map to realize that South Africa or South America was once nudged up against Africa.
Plug and play, pretty freaking easy.
Yeah. I mean, pretty.
Give me a rapid alley and a pair of scissors. I'll prove this bitch.
Pretty much. And yeah, he couldn't prove it at the time, but the fact that everybody was laughing at him, scoffing at him for almost 50 years, because he obviously didn't know what he was talking about, makes me believe that scientific consensus can eat a dick. Because not only was there that example, there was also the example of ether at the turn of the last century, where every scientist, every physicist knew without a shadow of a doubt that there was a thing called ether. And it was proven to not exist by a couple of radio guys in New Jersey in like 1913.
Yeah, that's the Mythbusters proved scientifically that you cannot light a gasoline flames with your cell phone. But when I worked at Super America, like a gas station, when I was 20, we had video of it happening no less than 3 times. And it was ruled out that it was static electricity because they hadn't gotten back into the car. But we had video of people getting in and out of their cars in the winter, touching the nozzle, flames. But then we had a guy sitting next to his car and the flames spurted out. And that was because first he grabbed his cell phone and then he started patting off the car because the flames had, or he felt heat or whatever. You know, it's hard to see flames on film from gasoline.
Right.
I mean, it's not alcohol, but it's a light colored flame. And there was 3 videos of that in our sit down where we watched these videos. Like, this is why you tell people get off their cell phones. This is why you don't let people get in and out of their cars. This is why. And we had videos for it, but they proved it doesn't happen. Like, dude, it happened.
You can't prove a negative. So, I mean, that's the one thing that Mythbusters got continually wrong, is just because they couldn't reproduce something doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It just means that they couldn't reproduce it.
You can't shoot a bullet with another bullet. Dude, they're in museums. Check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like
much it.
gigantic fucking bullets, too.
All right, we got to wrap this up. It's after 10, and I got to get the kid to bed. So,
He's already in bed.
you got anything else?
What's your new excuse? I just heard that. I got nothing. I'm good.
All right, so we'll wrap this up tonight. Hopefully next week you got this shit working, so we can do it on your channel again.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. Kind of like this, not having to do all the work.
Or we can flip flop either way. Doesn't matter to me much.
How many subs you got? 12. No, I think we'll do that. Mine.
Yeah, like a quarter of what you got. which is-
41? Dude, get on this. You should have at least 100.
I haven't done anything with this in like 3 months.
I gotta watch this bourbon video or whatever.
Yeah, the rum video. Go ahead. It's not very good, but do watch. I mean, obviously somebody else watched, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, we got to go.
Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.